Hi everyone, welcome back to Ask Amy. Finally, Facebook got its act together and I can use my camera again. So it's great to be back here with you guys on this Monday. 2 weeks from today, the Little School of Big Change reopens. It's going to only be open for 4 days and then not again until the middle of 2019. So mark your calendars. 14 days, 2 weeks from today. And this Thursday, I'm probably going to mention this again at the end, but this coming Thursday, September 20th, a brand new 4-part, totally free video series training that I worked so hard on all summer is going to be released. Video 1 comes out this Thursday, September 20th. So make sure that you are either on my mailing list or on the wait list for the school, because if you're on one or both of those, you'll get video 1 delivered to your inbox. And it's a really, really awesome 4-part, about a half hour each. So it's like a movie broken up into 4 parts, 2 hours of training, of totally free, just looking at why is it so hard to change? Why does it feel so hard? What is it that we aren't seeing? Where are we looking and where do we need to look? And just kind of taking you through that. And it's full of me teaching and examples. It's full of stories from people who have seen this and who have found their own freedom and all kinds of amazing stuff. So it's all about finding freedom from habits and anxiety without relying on willpower. And I know you're going to love it. So yeah, make sure you're on the wait list for the school at thelittleschoolofbigchange.com and or head over to my website and get on my list, and you'll start seeing those videos on Thursday. So today I have a question from Alice, which is a little bit long question, but I love it. It's going to give us an opportunity to really look deep for a minute here and look at something big. So I'm just going to read her question as she wrote it, and then we'll see where this takes us. So Alice says, "Dear Amy, I love your work, your articles, blog, video, amazing, so simple to understand. I'm on the waiting list for the next enrollment for your school." Awesome, Alice, 14 days. "I've had years and years from age 15, and I'm now 46, of therapy, counseling, healing, medication, etc. I'm also a counselor, therapist, life coach myself, but haven't been employed in a job since 2010 and quit working with clients 4 years ago as I couldn't do it anymore. My problem is this. Now I know that it's been the overthinking and identifying with every damn thought, believing it and acting on it. I used to think that my problem was bulimia, social anxiety, shyness, a lousy personality, that I was boring, that I had depression. I've attempted suicide over the years. The depression was so bad, but I never responded to meds or therapy. For the last 12 years, I've not hurt myself in any way, but have just resigned myself to living a soulless life. Yet since reading your work and having heard that we are not our thoughts and that we don't have to identify with them, I feel happy for brief periods and my mind is quiet." So anyway, the problem today is I've left every course, every job I've ever had because I followed my thoughts, feeling like no one liked me. I had social anxiety or needed a better job, on and on and on. I felt so uncomfortable at work and the jobs ranged all across the board. And now I see that the problem was never the job or the people there. I'm 46 and I still feel this social anxiety, depressed feelings. I'm still bulimic. I have a 4-year-old son and I feel I don't know what I should want to do with my life, and it's too late to do anything. It's like I've wasted all those years for nothing. At least other people have jobs or careers. I have nothing. And if it weren't for my husband and his income, I wouldn't have a home or a family or anything. I feel stupid, a failure. I don't know where to go from here. It's not something I can share with others. It seems like, well, it was just your thoughts, but it was horrible at the time and still is. Unbearable. So I used to run away from things and situations. How do you come back from that and start earning, living, working, being happy, and loving life and feeling useful instead of a waste of space?" So I love you, Alice. You're awesome for writing this, for putting all this out here, for being so honest about just your totally normal, safe human feelings. I mean, but they're big feelings. I get it, really. I mean, it's we do live in this thought-created experience, and it is extremely real. So there is no such thing. Like it is never helpful or kind or anything to kind of tell ourselves or to have other people tell us, oh, it's just thought. That's true, but it isn't just thought when it's in us. It is, but it isn't. Our experience is not like it is. It's not like, oh, this is just something that can just move right through me. When we're in it, we're in it. And I get that. We've all been in it. Maybe not as long and to this degree in our own way. We've all been in it and just felt horrible and like it was just life happening to us. I love what you say, that, and I love how you say this. So it isn't about my work, it isn't about anything else, but you're saying that when your mind gets quiet and you've had little glimpses of seeing that we aren't our thoughts and that you don't have to identify with them, you feel happy for brief periods of time. And I love how you say this in here, my mind is quiet. And that is, we all know that. It's easy to just throw out like, oh, your mind is quiet, so you're happy. But this is so huge and profound, really, because again, it highlights what you are starting to see, what you share in your question, that is the only problem any of us ever has, is a mind that is not quiet, that we're caught up in. So our problem isn't that a mind isn't quiet. Minds are not quiet most of the time, and that's okay. That's just normal. It's human. It's how life works. But when all of this stuff is rushing through us and it's so painful and we can't help but see through it, like we can't, I don't mean through it meaning like we get it. Like we're seeing through this veil of thought. It's like you're standing behind a waterfall. You're standing behind this waterfall and you're like, wow, it looks really wet out there. You're looking through a waterfall and trying to say something about life. And we do that to ourselves and in our own lives all the time. We're behind this waterfall and then we're looking at ourselves too. Wow, I'm really wet. I'm really like, what's wrong with me? I feel this way. I'm anxious. I'm depressed. I'm bulimic. Like we're seeing it, but we're only seeing it through our thinking. So I absolutely love, Alice, how you're starting to see through that. And you say in here so many times, I see now it was never the job. I see now it was never this. It was never that. It's your own thinking. And there's this place where we are sometimes, and it, like even to say it that way isn't accurate because we're never stable in one place. But as we're starting to wake up to this, it's not uncommon that we're a little shaky in it, that we see that we're living in this inner world, right, of thought moving through us, experience moving through us that looks so real, feels so real, is so real to us as it's there, no doubt. But we're still a little bit in it, but there's still that almost like 1 foot out that's saying like, yeah, but why does it feel so bad? Yeah, but how do I change it? Yeah, but, like I need it to be different. And so I just want you to see, Alice, like you are on your way. You are seeing things that you didn't see before, like how things work. Just to know that you are living, and we all are living in this experience of thought and feeling moving through us, and that is what's brought to life in every moment for us. That is huge, and that doesn't mean that we're instantly gonna pop back to health, or that we're always gonna feel great, or that we're always gonna remember it, or anything. But it is literally like you are on the correct highway headed to the city you need to be in. You might be speeding, you might be going the speed limit, you might be going way below the speed limit, but you are on the right highway. Like you're pointed in the right direction. And I know when we're feeling horrible, sometimes that doesn't feel like much of a consolation, but it is. I hear it in here that you get it, like you see that. So again, there's this sort of 1 foot in, 1 foot out thing sometimes. And I really want to encourage you to kind of just back up and see, wow, it is all thought. Anything that feels like suffering, every little bit in here of I'm wasted space. How do I do this? if I wasn't for my husband, I'd have nothing. I'm worth nothing. I haven't done anything. I had to quit work. I haven't been able to have clients, all of that stuff. I feel stupid, a failure. I don't know where to go from here. 100% of that is more of that thinking that just gets to be so kind of invisible to us. It's like we see through big chunks of it, but then if we're still not feeling great, and we aren't often, that's okay. But when we still aren't feeling great, it's still just kind of there, and it's somewhat invisible. So to see that, to kind of take the shortcut to this, anything that hurts us, anything in any given moment, when we are suffering, we're feeling insecure, we're feeling small, we're feeling like a waste of space, any of that in any given moment, that is us in our concepts. That is us in that thinking. See it or not, doesn't matter. Your feeling is showing you 100% of the time, absolutely zero exceptions. So Alice, that can be your ticket to feeling so much better and seeing through bigger and bigger chunks of this. Because when it looks like an Alice issue, there's a problem. Like, that's going to be hard. Me too. When it looks like an Amy issue, when it looks like, no, but I should change this thing about me, or I should be better here, or I do need to fix this problem in the world. When we're in it at that level, in the weeds of it, where our problems are looking like actual real things, we're just caught up, and we're seeing it in this personal way, but it's never personal. Life is not personal. Life is not about you or me. Our feelings are not about you or me. It's not personal in that way. It's this energy that creates experience, that brings us to life and lets us experience life moving through us. And it is perfect. It knows what to do. It moves through. And the way we get to, I don't know, we don't need to get to anywhere, but what happens is that the more we see, it's just this life moving through us, and it's moving, and then it's moving, and then it's moving. And the less we attach to it and need to solve for it, and how do I fix this, and what about me, the less we're doing that, the faster it gets to move, because we're not huddled on top of it. We're not stopping it and analyzing it, or resisting it, or thinking about it, or talking about it with our friends. And please don't hear this as me saying don't do those things. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying there's a bigger sense that we can bigger place we can see life from, see experience from, to see, wow, what if I'm okay? I'm the one that's here feeling happy for brief periods of time when my thinking settles down. That is you, and it's always there. And then we don't always feel it, and that's fine, but that's just moving through and moving through and moving through. I've been on this huge bandwagon in the past, I don't know, 2 years maybe, but lately it's coming out in my podcast, which is all about this ironic way that change works. It's called Changeable. We are changeable, but what's so darn ironic about it is the second we don't like it, the second we don't like how we're feeling, what we're doing, what we ate, what we drank, how we treated our kids, the second we get in there, this needs to be different, we're less changeable. Now, we're still just as changeable, but we're changing less, because we're like, I don't know, I watched a lot of football this weekend. We're like huddled on top of it. Now, that guy on the bottom, he's not moving very easily, right? But the more we're like, okay, this is life moving through me. I can have a thought, I don't like it. This should be different. I want that. I want this. But when we aren't on it, trying to fix it and change it, it changes. That's the irony, right? The less we're forcing and trying and manipulating, the more change just happens, because that's our nature. So that's where I want you to look, Alice, and you're already looking there, and you're seeing amazing things. But just notice where it goes over to, yeah, but how do I earn again? How do I get here? How do I get there? That's your mind putting you somewhere that we don't need to solve for that. Just be here in life, and already things have started to change for you, and they will continue to from this place right here in life. It just unfolds through us. And that's not passive. I'm not saying there's nothing you'll do or anything like that. It's like, but it'll be informed from a deeper wisdom, not us up here. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? That's where we get stuck. It's like, it's just, we let it move through us and inform us from a deeper place. and we start to just move ahead with life that's already unfolding anyway. So I hope that something in here lands, Alice, and I hope it's helpful to others as well. It's so human and so normal and so probably what we're here to experience. If we're experiencing it, it's what we're here to experience, that we don't like it and we need to get better and something needs to change. But the more we can just see, okay, that suffering is just showing me I'm not me in this moment. I'm caught up in over here. The more we just kind of relax, we're like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm suffering because it's our true self trying to say, hey, what are you so caught up about? Relax. That's what suffering is. That's the point of it. I had a client this weekend email and say, so ask a question along those lines, like, what is the point? And I know she was just caught up and, but it's like, what is the point of this suffering? I mean, I don't want to give an answer to this as if I know, but what I see about it in this moment is that the point of this suffering is it's light. It's our true self. It's life. It's us trying to wake us up and say, hey, you're stuck in something. Let go a little bit. Let go a little bit. And again, Alice, you say that. You say that right here. I feel happy for brief periods and when my mind is quiet. That's it. And our mind wants to be quiet. It'll just move completely on its own. So thank you for sending this. Thank you for sending this. And I know a lot of people can relate to different pieces of it. We all can. And thank you all for listening and sending your questions. I have a backlog, but if I haven't gotten to your question and you've sent one, I have read it. I have seen it. It's on the agenda. It's coming because you guys sent amazing questions. So helpful. That's the thing about how we work, is that we're all the same. So I've never, in over a year of doing this now, 18 months of doing this, never had a question where I'm like, I'm not going to address that one because I don't think anyone could relate. Never. Never. It could be very specific. It could be very, extreme. And we're going to hear things in it because we're all exactly the same. We work in the same way and we're up against the same stuff. So thank you for your questions. And again, just another quick little reminder, Little School of Big Change opens 2 weeks from today. Amazing free 4-part video series on exactly what I'm talking about here. This ironic way that change works. The less we're pushing and forcing, and the more we're just seeing how we're built, the more change just happens because that's our nature. That's what wants to happen. So get on the wait list for the Little School. It's the littleschoolbigchange.com, or if you're on my list, and you'll get these free videos sent to you beginning this Thursday. So thank you so much, guys, for listening, and I'll see you next Monday.